Welcome to Rise and Energize, your high vibe recharge session for anytime you need a bit of practical encouragement, a mindset shift, or pep talk to boost your day. I'm your host, Morgan, and I love sharing stories, tips, and tricks that help us find the spark we need to move forward with purpose. Whether you're working on your career, your health, or your relationships, this show helps you stop overthinking and start stepping into the version of yourself you know you're capable of being. Let's get into it. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. If you are watching on YouTube, then you see I chopped my hair off. So I got a little haircut and am feeling even more free. I don't know about you, but this winter has been brutal when it comes to the dryness and the static electricity. And I was just getting so sick of like pulling my long hair out of my coat and then it being like that whole static electricity thing. It was driving me nuts. So highly recommend if the static electricity is bothering you too. It has been just so dry and like my fingers are cracking and my skin is so dry and it's just driving me nuts. So finally cut my hair. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but it grows so slow. And I had a wedding in January that I was going to that I really wanted to wait until after that was done because you know how it is when you cut your hair, like it takes a while to figure out how to style it and you're already used to the way that you styled it before you cut it. And so I just wanted to wait until after that wedding. But then as soon as the wedding was over, like within 2 weeks, I was like, all right, chop. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. If you're listening, then just take my word for it and go ahead and go subscribe on YouTube too, because why not? You might as well subscribe every place that you can if you like this podcast and you want to support me. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about what today's episode is going to be about. So the reason that I thought about this episode was not because I am innately such a positive person or anything like that. Some people have said things to me, and especially toward the end of my time at my previous job, if you haven't listened to the last couple episodes, I resigned from my previous job before having something lined up next, which good news on that front. I'll keep you posted on that. But I resigned from my job and my last day was January 6th of this year. If you're listening in real time, it's 2026. That's where we're at. If you're listening to this in the future, cool. But that was my last day, was January 6th. And when I resigned, I had been pretty unhappy in my job for a long time. And when I say a long time, I'm saying 10 months. So I had been starting looking for a new job in February of 2025 and did not resign until December. And long story short, I figured out that there was a resume formatting thing that was kind of keeping me from getting in on online applications. So really annoying. DM me if you want to know more about that and you're looking for jobs because it really is so frustrating and it's the quickest fix. But as soon as I fixed my resume, the floodgates opened. So that's why I finally felt comfortable enough in December to give my notice because I had started getting responses and I was feeling close on some things. And I even had an offer somewhere that I didn't end up going through with. And so I was like, you know what? I feel good about this. I can resign. And luckily my husband and I were in a place where I could do that and really dedicate my full time instead of working at a job that I was unhappy in. I could dedicate my full time to finding a new job. All that to say that I was unhappy for a very long time in my job. And there were just a lot of obstacles that happened in the organization in 2025 that made it really, really difficult, and turnover was high and people were unhappy. It wasn't just me, but something that one of my coworkers said to me so many times was like, how do you just stay positive? Or how do you let this like roll off your shoulders or slide off your shoulders or whatever? That coworker said that to me a couple of times, especially toward the end of me being there. And I was like, dude, I'm not happy. It doesn't just roll off my shoulders. It takes a lot of practice to be positive in the face of circumstances that are really difficult. And a lot of the time I wasn't. I don't want to come on this episode and be like, oh yeah, I'm just so positive and you can be too. But actually I am kind of saying that because the thing is, with positive outlook and positive mindset, it is a practice thing. And there are lots of times that my positivity falls to the wayside and I can slip into a negative mindset or a mindset that's not serving me and not helping me. And these are some things I want to talk about, three specific things that I think that are really easy that I've implemented into my life because I know that the habits that we have, things that we do habitually day after day, it's those small things that really make life-changing impact. I always say little by little, a little becomes a lot. And when you implement really tiny little habits into your life that get you closer to the person you want to be, and in this case, it might be like a more positive thinking person or a person who generally feels more optimistic about the things that are going on in their life, then those little things are the things that are going to help you get there. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like sometimes you might not miss this habit, but when you create a habit, the nature of habits is that you do it without thinking, right? If you like bite your nails or something, you do that without thinking. Or if every morning you get up and you immediately go straight to the bathroom and you pee, you do it without thinking. It becomes rote. So these are three habits that I have in my life that I think that you could really easily implement. And they are just small ways to shift your mindset into a more positive thinking, optimistically thinking mindset. And I hope they're really helpful for you. So the first one that I have is in the morning. So I kind of have these at like different parts of the day that you could use so that no matter what part of the day you want to focus on positive thinking, you have a part of the day that you can do that. So my first one in the mornings, and this was something I got out of the habit of doing, and I noticed myself becoming negative in my mindset. So I've restarted this. But what the first thing is in the morning, pick the thing that you are most negative about. You could pick anything, but pick the thing you're most negative about. So in this case, it might be the workplace. And start repeating mantras over that thing. So if you are really unhappy in the workplace or you feel really invalued or something like that, start writing down. And this takes minutes, you guys. I started doing this over my like morning cup of coffee or my pre-workout drink. It takes minutes. You just start writing out, I am valuable. I am a hard worker. I am likable. I am good at talking to people. I am a good communicator. Start talking about those things. If your thing that you're feeling really negatively about is that you have been trying to get into a health routine for so long and you just never do, and you never can stick to it, start writing out, I am healthy. I make healthy choices. I'm beautiful. I'm strong mentally and physically. I'm consistent. I'm capable. I'm confident. I'm empowered. I am motivated. I am disciplined. Even saying them right now, because these are the things that I've been writing out in my like little journal that I do for a few minutes in the morning. It changes things. And I'm reading this book. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I can't tell you the author right now, but I'll put it in the show notes. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, someone had recommended to me several years ago, and I decided I was going to start listening to it. I'm listening to the audiobook. And it is really fascinating. And it talks about the difference between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the decision-making mind that you have. So the one that you're very aware of, the one where you're like, okay, I know this to be true, this to be true. I'm going to make this decision. Your subconscious mind just kind of accepts things as they are. So if you're telling yourself in your head all the time, I'm lazy, I can never get up on time, I've never been able to commit to a workout plan. Every time that I have a workout plan, I fail. Every time that I start working out or every time I start trying to eat healthy, I quit and I'm never able to lose the weight, or I'm never able to get healthy, or I'm never able to look the way that I want to. All of those things, your subconscious mind, even if it's not true, your subconscious mind just believes, because your subconscious mind is just kind of the person, it's not really a person, but the part of your brain that just accepts things as you tell them. So if you're constantly saying that to yourself, or big thing, if someone else is saying those things to you, your subconscious brain just believes it to be true. And then your actions, I always say we act on the things that we believe to be true. That kind of becomes our life. So when we're talking about habits, if I'm constantly thinking, oh, I'm so lazy, my subconscious mind believes that to be true and then acts accordingly. So then I might have a habit of not getting out of bed, or scrolling instead of getting up and getting my workout in, or habitually going through the drive-thru instead of meal prepping something that would make me feel better and less bloated when it comes to like the health routine thing. So I hope that helps. I recommend reading it because that was just like a very quick summary. And I'm not all the way through the book, but he gives a lot of examples in the book. I will say, as a disclaimer, that if you don't believe in God, he does talk about God quite a bit, but the subconscious mind part of it, that can be applied whether or not you have like a faith in God or not. But he is a faith-based author. So just a heads up if you do start it. But I do think that it's really, really beneficial to start thinking about these things that we believe to be true and that our subconscious mind is accepting, because like these mantras or these things that we say to ourselves, it's just accepting. So that's the first thing I would say. In the morning, pick the thing you're most negative about. Honestly, I haven't been like surrounding it around anything specific because for me, I was just noticing that I was getting into a negative mindset with a lot of things, and primarily that a lot of the confidence I had in myself whenever I had started doing mantras and gratitudes and things like that in the morning had started slipping away because I wasn't doing that as regularly, and I was feeling really unhappy in a big part of my life, which was my job. And so I wasn't feeling very valuable. And so when I start in the morning, I can literally show you what I put, but I just go, I am kind, I am smart, I am healthy, I make healthy choices, I'm strong physically and mentally, I'm confident, I'm capable, I'm beautiful. People like talking to me, people like being around me, I'm loved and I'm loving. I shine so bright, I'm energetic, I'm magnetic, I am resilient. Just go through these things. Honestly, like I can literally share with you my list. It's not the exact same, but I tend to say the same things every day, but I just write them out and it takes minutes. One thing that you can do in your morning routine every single day takes not much time at all. And even if you don't believe these things to be true, saying them to yourself, your subconscious brain is going to pick up on that over and over and over again. You're going to start believing them to be true, and your actions are going to start matching them accordingly. So that's the first thing in the morning. Second thing is a nighttime routine. So it's not even a routine, really. Like, I don't want to scare you off with like, I have this hour-long nighttime routine. I don't. But one thing I started doing, and this was specifically in my marriage, but you can do it single, you can do it dating, you can do it with a friend, your roommate, you could do it alone. It does not really matter what relationship status you have. But one thing that we started doing whenever we got married, my husband and I had read something about, I think I had read something about married couples, and about there was an anecdote from a specific married couple that they said one of the best things that has kept them happy in the relationship was having like little routines that they had. So like I was talking about the habits. So habits can help you in your personal life, but they can also help you in your relationships too. And the habit that they had was, they said every day at 5 p.m. they had a glass of wine at the table, and they talked for, I don't know how long it was, until their glass of wine was gone probably. But the point of the article, whenever I read that in college before we got married, was that they had a little routine that they did every day, and it was a connection point. And so I had been like, I really want to start some sort of habit of connection with you. And what we started doing, we've done this pretty much every day of our marriage, is best part of your day. So at the end of the night, we just say the best part of our day. So it's a small moment of reflection. Again, it takes less than a minute. And you look at your day and you go, oh, well, probably the walk we took after work. Or, you know what, that was a really yummy dinner, probably dinner. Or it could be just the 15 minutes in the morning that I had to read, or the little bit of quiet that I had in the car on the way from home to work, or on the way from work to home, or anything like that. It could just be anything. Most of the weekdays, it ends up being like dinner or something that we did together in the evening, like watching a show together or something like that, because during the weekdays, we're not super exciting. A lot of the time when I have book club is my favorite part of the day. Or on the weekends when we do something maybe more fun, like we have a date night, or we take the long route on our walk with our dog, or we watch a show that we've been wanting to watch together, or watch a movie, or go to the movies or something like that, then that usually ends up being the best part of the day. But regardless, it's a positive way to end the day. You look at what's the best part of your day, and it starts to help you reflect and see the good in things. It's just one way of training your brain to see the good in things. Takes not long at all. You can do it by yourself. You can write it down if you want. You can have a little journal by your bed. If you're not in a relationship or you don't live with someone, you can just write down, best part of my day. What was it? Oh my gosh, I really love that snack that I had. Or it was my morning coffee chilling for a second. Or it was the podcast that I listened to. Hey, shout out Rise and Energize. Hopefully I was the best part of your day. But Anyway, that's the second thing that I would say. So that's something that I've been doing a long time, along with the mantras or the affirmations in the morning. Even though I had a lull in the affirmations, that's something I've been doing for a long time, is like a gratitude. Literally writing it down, I do think helps, but a gratitude or an affirmation in the morning, best part of your day at night. And then the third thing, and this was something that I started implementing in my life whenever I was doing Beachbody, or it's now called Body, but I was doing coaching a lot more regularly, which I still am a coach technically. I can still help you find a workout program for you, or like a healthy eating plan for you, or supplements that might help supplement the healthy lifestyle you're already living. My pre-workout is actually called Energize, so it goes along with this podcast really well. But anyway, all that aside, when I was doing coaching a lot more and promoting it a lot more and recruiting people to join my accountability groups and whatnot, one thing that they really encourage, and I think it's one of the best things that I picked up from doing that journey for a few years, is they said, if you can't do anything else in your day, do your 15 to 20 minutes of personal development. And what they mean by personal development is something like reading Power of Your Subconscious Mind, or Atomic Habits by James Clear. If there's one book that you could read for personal development, I recommend that one. It is so good. And like I said, I'm all about habits. So I think that they're really helpful. And I think that that book helps you really think about the habits that you have and helps you simplify it so that when you're thinking about developing a new habit, it's not so cumbersome and it doesn't feel so stressful and overwhelming to start that. So anyway, all that to say, it could be a personal development podcast. It could be something like this, 15 to 20 minutes of Rise and Energize, and helping me reshape things or get your mindset right, get yourself in a good place for the day. It is such a good habit to instill, and it's not as quick as the mantras, affirmations, or the best part of your day at the end of the night. I do recommend 10 minutes minimum, 15 to 20, but it is something that you can pop on a podcast or an audiobook very easily on your commute to work, or if you have a field-based job, which I did before, like in between stops that you're making. That is such an easy way to implement it. Or that 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, you could pop on an audiobook or a podcast while you're getting ready for work, while you're you could pop it in the shower. Like maybe you're in the shower right now and you're listening to this, and that's great. Like, I love that. You could do it while you're drinking your morning coffee. If you do sit down and drink your morning coffee, maybe that's a time that you could actually physically open up a book and read a book. Or so just personal development, I highly recommend. It is a way that it is the thing that I noticed whenever I first started coaching, and I was working out regularly in the mornings, like 20 to 30 minutes, seriously, nothing crazy. And that was helping me get in the right mindset a lot for work, which I still do that. That's a habit that I instilled a long time ago. And if you can get your body moving, that's kind of like a bonus, like fourth action that I would say to help you get positive, because I do think it helps your brain and it just is such a release for you. It's a good way to get your endorphins going, especially if you do it first thing in the morning, gets you in the right mindset, at least for me. But that would be like a fourth bonus thing. But even without that, the thing that I would say in the morning, if there's something in the morning that you can do, it's those affirmations or positive mindset mantras, and then finding a block of time for 15 to 20 minutes in the morning where you can feel like you are developing yourself and you have something for yourself, and you feel like it helps you to feel like you're improving. And like I said, with that power of subconscious mind, your brain is telling yourself, like, I care about myself. I care about improving myself. I care about feeling better in the life that I have and improving my habits and improving my mindset. And this is an action that is proving to me that I care about that. So those are three things. I hope that they're helpful. I kind of flew through them, but they're three things that I have developed in the last, I would say, 7 to 8 years. Probably 7 years. 2018. So like 7 years that I have been working on my physical and mental health. And the personal development and the mantra specifically are things that I kind of noticed myself when I was really unhappy in my job. I did kind of let fall by the wayside, but as I started doing them again, I seriously, I feel so good, so much better mentally, and just so much more confident in myself. And when you start stacking these habits, they start to create a person that you are so much more proud of being. That's another habit, or that's another mantra I will say that I put in in my when I start to journal these out, I'm proud of myself. You ought to be proud of yourself. You ought to be prioritizing yourself. You matter, you're valuable. And these things, creating a space in your brain that feels healthy and positive and optimistic is worth it. So I highly recommend doing these things. If you have a friend who's going through it, maybe they're really unhappy in their job too, like I was talking about, send this to them. Please share it with them. It makes me so happy when you guys share things. And if you got something out of this, if you feel like it is share worthy on your Instagram or Facebook, please also share it there and tag me so that I can thank you and see that these things are resonating with you. I love you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, it would mean so much to me if you would share it with a friend that could benefit from it. Like right now, or on social media and tag me so I can say thank you. Until next time, talk to you soon.